Prepare to be amazed. Our next guest is known as the amazing iPad magician, who is taking the world by storm by doing magic tricks on his iPad.
All the way from Germany, please welcome magician Simon Piero.
World-class magician Simon Piero has electrified audiences around the world with his incredible mystifying magic. Using a technological marvel they know and love, an iPad. He's performing around the globe and has more than 100 million views on YouTube. So, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the iPad magician Simon Piero.
Thank you. Good evening. I know you came for a championship, and what you get is a magic show. Well, but I come with innovation, because I exchanged my magic wand for an iPad. And I want to show you a few things that I found out. So first of all, I'm not sure if this has happened to you in the past. If you scroll through like this could happen. If it does, no worries, it's not broken. No, you do have more space for your own creativity. Can you see the string in the back? Can you? Yes. This is for emergency only. Please do not break the glass. Reach inside, and you do have access to a whole new set of apps. All with AI features for sure. Thanks to this, I can show you a couple of pictures from my last vacation, about 2,500. I hope you have some time. I won't show you all of them. I just squeeze them a little bit. And that way, I can also print them. Yeah, that's me. Oh, by the way, my parents still don't have an iPad, so when I'm traveling, I put that on a postcard, send it home. They are happy, I'm happy. But before that, I do make a digital copy. Otherwise, the data might get lost. This is my favorite. I call it the perfect sunset. Do you agree? Because you're very polite people. It's not a sunset, no. Well, why should I wait if I can still change the position of the sun later on? And if I move it all the way down to the horizon, it becomes really beautiful. Oh, and the best thing about this, I can even take the sun out and stop global warming. Just saying. By the way, I mean, the award show will be 1.5 hours, but if you want to do some sports in between, just get an iPad, download the right picture like this, a tennis ball, and then you can use your iPad as a tennis racket. Any questions so far? Yeah, thank you. The good thing about the internet, well, you don't have to pay for it if you return it within 14 days. So simply push it back into the iPad, and whenever you want to continue, it's pretty easy. All you will need is just a simple double tap. Thank you both. To make sure the weather is perfect, I'm using this app. Have a look. Most frequently asked question, no, I cannot take her out of the iPad, okay? She's quite famous in Germany. So let's try again for you in the back. Well, it doesn't make any sense, but it's fun. Who is still using Facebook? Let me know. Facebook, anyone? No? I mean, it's no problem, but you have to know how to use it, right? Under every single picture, it says share. And that is why I always have a fork with me. Don't blink. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I mean, it doesn't have to be healthy, right? And actually, these days, you don't even have to search on Facebook. Just use the AI. I have the German one. Generiere fröhliches Kind mit Eis in der Hand. Happy kid with ice cream. So, let's see. And then, yeah. Oh, well, maybe more like that. But they are all happy. That's good. But this one, not. Oh. I want to try to make a FaceTime call with a friend of mine. I hope he's ready. So that's you. Wonderful audience. Waiting for the show, for the award show. I hope he's there. Hi, Christoph.
Hi there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this.
Here's the straw.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, like that?
Yeah, that's fine. So with this straw, I can now share not only bits and bytes. Yeah, it worked, thank you. I cannot share only bits and bytes, but also a Coke. Tastes excellent, but this is not a digital one-way, so I can also give something back. Cheers. He doesn't know about this.
That's all.
Yeah. 1 second, please. It's still a prototype, but I think it worked pretty well. Please give a hand to Christoph. Well, every performance costs one friendship. But I hope I make some new friends tonight here at Zurich. And can you do me a favor? Can you twist this Rubik's Cube quickly? Do not accidentally solve it, just mix it. Yeah. What's your first name? Paolo. Paolo, do not solve it. Close your eyes and stop any time. 1, 2, and raise it above your head. And if you believe it or not, look at it. It's even more mixed up than before. Paolo, you didn't think it would be solved up there, right? No. That's my job. Look what I do. I simply put it back into the bag, snap my fingers, solved. No. Okay. I can feel the difference between real appreciation and, like... I mean, it works great with my kids at kindergarten, so... no, you got me. That's fine, absolutely. Well, not everything is AI these days. Sometimes it's good old algorithms, but it doesn't sell that way. So a Rubik's Cube is algorithms. If you learn these, all of them, you can solve a Rubik's Cube in less than, let's say, 60 seconds. I will use these algorithms now in reverse, only 10 seconds, to take this one and try to look at Paolo's. Okay, what you did here, got it. Then you put it down there, and There are 43 quintillion possibilities to solve a Rubik's Cube. That means you could cover all of Europe, and every Rubik's Cube would look different than any other. But I used my time wisely, and that's why, Paolo, our Rubik's Cubes are identical on one side. Not only one, on the second as well. The third, the fourth, the fifth, and number 6. Just by the use of algorithms. But the world record is 3.2 seconds, indeed. I want to break the world record for this special event, but with this, I need a little bit help of the AI. Pretty easy, then. That's it. Thanks, Paolo. That's yours. And thank you so much. And I'll be back later, but for now, it's time to start the championship, the show. Please give it over to Vincent.
Well, even if my iPad doesn't work like his, I think we have a theme for this evening. Technology creates magic. Welcome to the Zurich Innovation Championship Demo Day. I'm Vincent Landon, your moderator. We have a busy program, 6 winning startups introduced by their senior executive sponsors from Zurich. A panel discussion, a review of the championship, and a chance to network informally. Now we're surrounded by enterprising startups, but they present their products and services, and before that, we're going to ask, here's the challenge we have at Zurich, what answers can you provide? I'd like to welcome our chairman of the board to give a few introductory words. Now I know that you have the title chairman of the board, but I believe that you are never bored with innovation. Michel Lies.
Good evening, everyone. Let me start by being quite honest with you. I must say, when Paolo reached me to introduce this evening, I was a little bit surprised to be invited to speak at the Zurich Innovation Championship. A man of my vintage is not usually associated with innovation, let alone asked to speak on the topic. Once you pass a certain age, some people consider you to be over your I suppose you call that in English expiration age, what we call here in Switzerland microdata. So you're not invited to this kind of thing anymore, but that's a mistake. I insist that's a mistake. You see, and probably with what I will start to say, you will not consider it a mistake, but I've been working in the insurance industry for something like 50 years. I've seen trends come and go, and I've experienced a lot of innovation, both good and bad. Communication was probably the one which affected my normal life at work quite intensively. When I started out in the 70s, I remember the main form of communication was the letter. And as I was partly in Latin America, part of this letter were simply handwritten, a letter handwritten. You can imagine you receive the letter, you say, well, the guy will think that the post has last 10 days, so no hurry in answer. And then the fax machine came. Wow, he knows that I've received what he wanted to send me. And that became commonplace. And a decade or so, the advent of emails, text message, or more recently, Teams calls. And for quite many years now, even my car speaks to me. And a few instruments also at home. So that's quite a lot in a lifetime, to be honest. That's quite a lot. The majority is positive, but that's quite a lot. Not all innovation has been good. I don't want to enter in the debate of the famous Oppenheimer debate, if I may say, so I'll let you think about that. I must say that I've never really trusted in super innovative accountants. You probably meet them more, sorry Paolo, more in Sicily than in other places of the world. And even if you think of one of the most important changes that we've experienced, which is social media, I think the jury is still out. I'm sure that at the end we will integrate that in our society in a positive fashion, but it's fair to say that in the current environment, it is definitively, it can be a source of trouble, at least as much as innovation. All that being said, I do believe there is a correlation between age and passion for innovation. I think all children are natural innovators when the world around them allows that. And unfortunately, it's not always the case on this planet. But I think when the world and the so-called ecosystem around allows it, all children are natural innovators. They're there to think big. They're there to be bold. And they have new ideas. Children also have a natural curiosity about the world around them. They ask a lot of questions that challenge conventional thinking. And importantly, children are not afraid to fail. They are not scared of change. They won't change. The worst that you can say to a child is, nothing will change in the next few days. He got bored. In fact, they enjoy taking risks, and sometimes they take a little bit too much. Pablo Picasso once said, all children are born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up. I think this is also true for innovation. All children are born innovators. The challenge is to remain an innovator as we grow up. There is a phase from childhood to the teenage age, adolescence as we call, in which you go through a kind of revolutionary phase, which is sometimes definitively very innovative, sometimes even a little bit destructive. But I do believe that the move from this childhood to the world of adult is interesting, and we need to keep, as the artist, we need to keep for innovation this spirit. Because as we become adult, we become more afraid of failure. We have more to lose, so we have more probably concern in risking things. And there, things are also different from continent to continent. Let's be fair, probably because of history, probably also because of the average age of the population. Europe is in that respect not the most innovative ecosystem. And I think that's important to recognize that. So our appetite for change has a risk, can diminish. This makes it difficult for us to embrace innovation. As you get older, much older, something changes again. There is a return of energy for innovation. There is a second wind. for innovation, for many other things too. But you want to enjoy the game. You just realize that, okay, well, there is a certain probably limitation in my presence on this nice planet, and what I see is so nice. I just would like where it brings me. So there is an appetite which is definitively coming, even if some people become more nostalgic with age and hold on to the past, but many, or at least some, begin to embrace innovation with greater gusto. In fact, the older I've gotten, the more passionate about innovation I've become. It has probably to do also with the family. You have children, you have grandchildren challenging you, and when you have grandchildren reaching the age of precisely the teenage, this revolutionary age, you need to be definitively open to innovation if you want to keep the relationship going. So I must say, on any kind of innovation, technological innovation, I'm very curious about where does it bring me, where does it bring us. I know that there is part of the history that I may miss, that everybody will miss, by the way. I'm not the only one living this planet. But I think this appetite is coming at a certain age. I want to meet people with new ideas. I want to talk to people who can teach me something I don't know. It's why I'm delighted to be here today, because I'm surrounded by people who challenge my thinking. By the way, of my grandchildren, I need to tell you an anecdote. I was with my granddaughter, she's something like 17 now, and we spent a part of the summer in family together. And there's a moment in which she asked me, you have a lot of people in your job who contradicts you? I said, well, not that many. And she had this fantastic answer. Yeah, I've noted that. You miss a little bit of training. She has trained me since then. So I like people who will teach me something new. Innovation fuels our ability to solve problems, to adapt to changing environment, and possibly also to improve our quality of life. How can you not be excited by innovation when you realize what it can produce for you? I believe intergenerational collaboration can be a very, very powerful powerhouse for innovation. When people of different ages work together, combining the wisdom and experience with the dynamics of youth, the result can be extraordinary, and innovation knows no age limit. It's about a mindset, a relentless pursuit of finding a better way to do things, a curiosity to explore the unknown, and the determination to overcome challenges. Whether young or old, everyone has the potential to contribute to the innovative spirit that drives progress. You just need the right mindset. And this is something I truly love about the Zurich Innovation Championship. Not only has it enabled Zurich to collaborate with some ingenious startups to work on some inspiring innovation, it has also helped Zurich to adopt an innovation mindset. It has encouraged our people to question how we do things at Zurich, to think of new ideas, to imagine bold solutions to the challenges we face. And it has helped us to embrace changes within the workplace and to accelerate innovation across the business. Essentially, the Zurich Innovation Championship has helped us to rediscover and channel our inner childlike imagination. And I'm deeply convinced that the insurance industry, and Zurich in particular, will take a big advantage of that. All that has to be a good thing, and is a good thing. So thank you for listening, the wise man, and I hope you and we all together will enjoy this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Michel. When you organize an event like this, you should never take your speakers for granted, and particularly the depth and breadth of their expertise. What happens if they become unavailable, or they're on holiday, or they get stuck in the elevator, or delayed on the train? To avoid that sort of stress, we've decided to clone some of our senior executives here at Zurich, so they can be available 24/7 in multiple locations. Our first speaker looks and sounds suspiciously like our Chief Information and Digital Officer. He shares, thanks to the latest software upgrade, some of the most incisive parts of his wisdom and some of his best thoughts and opinions. I'm delighted to welcome on stage the one and only, two and only, three and only Ericsson Chan.
Hi, good seeing you all. Don't we all sometimes, once in a while, would like to clone ourselves? Very good seeing you again, Vincent. Michelle, I have to completely agree with you. I think children are natural innovator in many ways. Before I start, just remind me of a very popular TED Talk video many of you would have watched a while ago by Sir Ken Robinson. He was saying, once there was a 6-year-old girl not paying attention in the drawing class. So the teacher walked up to her, "What are you drawing?" So the little girl looked up, "I'm drawing the face of God." So the teacher, well, no one has seen God. No one knows how God looks like. And then the little girl got annoyed, looked up. "Well, they will know after I finish my drawing." So it's absolutely, children are not afraid of trying. They are natural innovator. It is how we can keep that inherent capability of all of ours every day, keep going, not bogged down by the day-to-day process, framework, and so forth. So thank you for that, Michelle. All right, this is the 5th year of Zurich Innovation Championship. And we are getting bigger and bigger, better and better. This is the best innovation program. This is the best startup accelerator across the entire insurance industry, for sure. And this year we have thousands of applicants, submissions. And over the years, we have also learned. We learned a lot. And one key takeaway is to have a successful innovation, it has to be very focused on the business opportunity, the business challenge, what are the pain points we need to address. That is the key. Innovation is not necessarily equal to technology or AI. But technology and AI will make innovation solution a little bit better. AI is a hot topic. AI is not new for Zurich. We have been using it for a while, but generative AI is new, so this is why it's so hot. Generative AI is particularly relevant for knowledge industry like insurance, because it's very good at processing large documents, conversations, so become a digital helping hand. And we have launched Zurich Chat since May of 2023. So everybody in Zurich has a digital helping hand these days. So last year, 11 of the 12 startups use AI as part of the solution. I'll be interested to see how many this year. Okay, let me introduce the very first startup, winning startup. That is Merlin. Merlin, the first winning startup, they have innovative solutions that is about digital twin. They create a digital twin of our expert. In this case, it's the workers' comp claims team in Zurich, North America. So the twin definitely is learning from the best of the best. So that now with that, then we can use the digital twin to help everyone else. So before I start, I would like to really use this opportunity to thank you for your continuous support for Zurich Innovation Championship. Much, much appreciated. So now let's give Merlin a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, all. So imagine that you are working on a complex project or a challenging task. You get to a point where you're stuck and you need help. You turn to your go-to colleague or maybe your manager, and they're unavailable. What do? Do you set it aside and you hope that you get back to it, or maybe you submit it and you just hope for the best? Now picture maybe even a more challenging scenario. Your go-to colleague has left the organization or maybe even retired. The knowledge and insights that they carried with them are now unavailable.
This is the exact value proposition that Merlin brings to the table. Utilizing our technology, we aim to enhance the human decision-making rather than replacing it, allowing you to codify the valuable knowledge of your most experienced experts at scale. As insurers are facing challenges like an aging workforce and the need to train up new staff members, our technology allows you to preserve and scale those critical decision-making skills. This not only increases efficiency, but also ensures that the teams are making informed and rapid decisions to maintain that highest level of service delivery. Through our approach, we aim to revolutionize insurance by providing a more agile, decision-based approach to customer needs. During the Accelerator program, we successfully codified the decision of 4 claim professionals within ZNA.
Over the last few months, we codified or replicated 38 key decisions throughout the workers' compensation process. We had 20 claim professionals that were engaging through this process with us over the last few months. They immediately bought into the solution and started incorporating digital twins into their day-to-day so that they could be guided into their decision-making. And this directly correlates into our claim payouts and leakage.
During the Accelerator program, we proved out 4 main things. Firstly, that the decisions of claim professionals can be codified. Secondly, that this can be done in a timely manner with minimal disruption to business. Thirdly, that there would be positive benefits in terms of KPIs. And lastly, that the claims professionals would want to utilize the tool as the value was evident.
In summary, by utilizing Merlin's technology, we are able to ensure workforce sustainability and provide our employees with a digital colleague to meet tomorrow prepared. This not only enhances decision-making, but it helps ensure that we have consistent claim handling and improves the customer experience. We are able to combat our aging workforce, as well as really ensure that we are consistently training our new joiners as they enter into the organization. Based on the results that we've achieved so far, we are looking forward to beginning implementation across multiple business units in Zurich. Reflecting on our initial scenario, with digital twins by your side, you'll always have multiple experts to turn to in your time of need. Thank you.
And thank you, Merlin. No relation to the wizard, of course, but clearly the name played a crucial role when we came to shortlisting finalists for this competition. When it came to teaming startups with senior management, another factor played a very important role: alliteration with the letter S. Who else could be the sponsor of Sixfold than Sierra Signorelli, CEO, Commercial Insurance?
So I'm thrilled to be able to recognize the winner for the Innovation Championship for Commercial Insurance. So in just a moment, I'm going to invite Alex and Amy to come up on stage and share with you what they've been up to. But I want to share a little bit of my perspective on this before I do that. So we talk a lot about AI. Erickson touched on that just a moment ago. And we want it to be that helping hand. We also talk about it in a way in which it can be make us more effective at what we do internally, and it should deliver a better result for our customers. So when we look at what the capabilities are with Sixfold, it ticks both of those boxes. If we think about what we're trying to achieve in commercial insurance when it comes to middle market, there's a sweet spot with what they're able to provide. So if we think about the middle market opportunity before us, hopefully most of you are familiar. We're looking to grow in the middle market segment. We're very good in the large corporate space, but we have to adapt a little bit when we think about middle market. So as we think about the middle market segment, we've done a lot of work to make ourselves better in that segment. We've come out with new propositions to meet specific industry needs in areas that we're looking to grow. We've expanded our footprint to be more relevant. We've invested in technology in a number of markets, and we see that we're seeing success where we've invested. However, there's still more to do. It's an opportunity for us because it helps us also balance volatility. So we need to make sure that we don't lose sight of the underwriting as well. Two of the things that we know when we look at commercial insurance and our opportunity in the middle market is that we need to be more responsive. We need to respond quicker to inquiries about new business. We also know that the volume is significantly more than what we're used to seeing in the large corporate space. So to give you some sense of this, if we look at Germany as an example, if we want to write 10 million of premium in property, in the large corporate space, we'd have to write 30 new customers. If we want to do that in the middle market space, that would be 500 new customers. And if you think about how we do business, we don't win every customer we quote, unfortunately. So we probably have to quote 2 to 3 times that. So the volumes are significantly different. I had the opportunity about a year ago to sit with ZNA and look at some of the capabilities that we've been building and investing in. And we've come a really long way. The tools and capabilities have made us much better than where we were. And I sat with the same team in 2017, and I can say we've made a world of difference. But if we think about what we put in front of the underwriters and how we collate that and bring it together, it still takes a lot of time. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Sixfold so they can share what they've done and what they've been up to and how they're helping us solve this problem. So come up on stage, Alex and Amy.
All right. Thank you, Sierra. Allow me to introduce to you the Zurich underwriter, our company's unsung hero, responsible for generating a lot of our company's revenue. Our underwriters wear a lot of hats. Part salesperson, managing tons of emails and a packed calendar. Part risk analyst, pages and pages of submission documents. Part researcher, scouring the internet, trying to understand insights about companies. And finally, part pricing expert, really taking all of that information and turning it into our rating systems and ultimately quotes for our insureds. Our underwriters, we calculated this, consume about thousands and thousands of pages. It works out to a few novels a week that our middle market underwriters are actually consuming. And this is not these are not Harry Potter novels, right? This is insurance data. As Sierra mentioned, in the middle market space, we have been growing in the US. We've got a great growth trajectory. And we're kind of at an inflection point where we're really looking to help our underwriters turn the dial and grow that book that they're responsible for. But at the same time, their calendar's packed, right? There's not a lot of room to get more of that new business in the door.
So enter Sixfold's Underwriting AI, an artificial intelligence that takes all of those documents, the emails, the PDFs, the websites, summarizes them, and distills it down into the most important risk factors to put into a simple-to-read interface and get it in the hands of the underwriters. We've been fortunate in very quick time to be able to actually start testing. We've consumed nearly 4,000 pages of documentation, worked with 16 underwriters, and I'd love to show you a quick demo of what we've been building. So you're looking at the interface, and a new company comes in to be underwritten, and what the AI has already done is written a paragraph about this company's descriptions by finding them online. It's assigned an industry code so we can figure out how to price this. It's answered dozens of questions that the underwriter has to, like what's the prior losses and claims, and it sources all of the documents. Here's a quick look at all of those PDFs and the books and the emails that the underwriter has to write that the AI did. And the AI also got a start at creating the very important narrative documentation that the underwriter has to prepare as they quote.
How cool is that? Just from, thank you. So just from an impact perspective, so the underwriters that we engaged in the pilot, during that pilot, they sent in more than 80% of their submissions. So really good signal there. We're looking at potentially a 1 to 2 hour savings per submission, and that's about half the time that they spend on risk assessment today. So really excited about the impact. And then just flipping to what we've heard from our underwriters, like, I have a picture of a risk in 20 seconds. I mean, that's phenomenal. They're super excited about this and really looking forward to the change in their role and the impact it's going to have on their ability to generate that increased portfolio.
So we have to take a moment to thank the underwriting team that partnered with us. They are, as you heard, the very busiest group here at Zurich. And by working with them so closely, we really were able to put the fun back in underwriting. And we, of course, had to use AI to write an underwriting theme song, which we have to play for you here.
Shake it to the left, swing it to the right. Underwriting, baby, let's dance all night.
Thank you very much.
I have a confession to make. Even as a child, I couldn't figure out what made young people tick. And the problem has got worse with age. Every time I join a new social media platform, young people leave in droves. It's no longer hip or cool, or as many of you might say, sick. But certainly for anyone selling products or services, it's absolutely vital to get into the mindset of a young audience. And in a world of constant change, it's important not only what they say, but how they say it and where they say it. And that's why I'm absolutely delighted that our CEO Latin America, Laurence Maurice, has her finger on the pulse.
Thank you, Vincent. Good afternoon, everybody. Somebody asked me if I had flew directly from Brazil to introduce the winner of the retail work stream. It's almost for this, but I'm very proud to be to introduce Lloyd Joy, the winner of the retail work stream that we chose with Cara. And to start, I will make a very short introduction. So maybe you have noticed, but our everyday life is faster paced than ever. All of you, I see the head, so it's a good statement. So everything needs to be fast, everything needs to be accessible, everything needs to be as well in real time as well, and as simple as possible most of the time, especially for young generation. And in Zurich, in most of our BUs, we are looking at new solutions to make and to move faster in order to make some very crucial move to attend our clients where they are, to offer them as well what they want and when they want as well. And this is very instrumental as well to do it through the right channels. And what we see as well is that the young generation, the young users, they have a different kind of behavior. So they crave a digital and as well an instant interaction and experience. And they want as well to have short content. There are some studies, and some of you will say to me if it is true, that are saying that the attention span of Generation Z is 8 seconds. Do you agree? I don't know. Yes? Wow. So we have some challenges as managers as well, I think. And this means that it's very, as well, with that, it's really challenging for us when we want to convey complex messages. And we know that insurance is not only simple to explain, can be complicated, as well can be technical. And so for this, we need really to find out some new ways of communication, even if we think as well about the fact that we have a low penetration in insurance in countries where we have younger population. So these two elements demand really for new ways of prospecting and reaching the client, and social medias, social networks like Instagram, TikTok, that everybody know, are great to reach the clients, but as well to help our customer to know better insurance. And if we add to this AI, so Ericsson was talking about AI, so we have a little bit of AI here as well. If we add AI to this mix, we are really talking about a new way of interacting with customers. So now, if you still wonder how insurance can be easy and fun, I invite you to listen to Loyjoy.
If you want to connect with young audiences, social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook are key. In Germany alone, TikTok has 21 million users, and they spend, on average, every month, 38 hours. That's a full work week. And 51% use it as their primary search engine, even before Google. Now, here's the challenge we were facing. This is a real TikTok video from Zurich. It's about disability insurance, and it has a fun street interview. But if I want to learn more, it links to a Zurich website. Notice the stark contrast of this text-heavy website. So this might be kind of boring, so we thought, how can we make it better? How can we engage with this audience more actively? So we integrated Loyjoy's interactive chat. Now the video links into a conversation. And this playful approach captures the attention, and it also guides users towards our goal. On the one hand, helping them to find the right protection, and on the other hand, to provide their marketing permission to us.
So yes, as you have seen, Loyjoy serves as our bridge to social media, and it also helps us stand out from the competition. So let me show you how we implemented a solution across multiple channels. We used the Loyjoy chat with TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook ads to generate leads and ultimately sales for DA Direct and Zurich. And we tested 3 different use cases: the occupational disability and liability insurance for the BU Germany, and the pet insurance for DA Direct, all products with massive growth potential. So now you're probably wondering, how did it work out? And we would like to show you some highlights of one of our cases, our pet insurance case. A staggering 77% of people who open our chat engage with us, starting a conversation, which is really good. Besides, only 2 weeks after go live, we already generated 160 high-quality leads and even realized initial sales, which is a great result in this short period of time. So this confirms that Loyjoy is an effective way to attract young customers. But we have one more thing. The scalability is off the charts. We have 5 confirmed pilot projects and 4 interested business units globally. So as you can see, this is just the start to revolutionize the customer experience in the insurance industry. Thank you very much.
Some fascinating statistics there, and not least the 8-second attention span that Laurence mentioned. I just wish some of my colleagues could manage half that amount. Well, we've been mesmerized by Merlin, seduced by Sixfold, allured by Loyjoy. Let's welcome Simon back to bewitch and bewilder before we set up the stage for the panel.
Vincent. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed the presentations. I like the dance, to the left, to the right. Anyway, here's our QR code. You can't scan it right now because I covered a big part of it with a logo. But please, take out your calculators. So open your smartphone, open the calculator app. Not everybody has to, but if you can, that would be great. So, put it to 0, and I will ask you a few questions. Well, let's start here in the second row with the gentleman. What time did you get up this morning? 7. Did you push the snooze button? Yes. Yes, how often and how long? So when did you eventually get up? 7:08. So it's a 4-minute snooze button twice. Okay, 7:08. So we say 708, and we multiplied with, gentleman, second row, what's the size of your shoes?
45.
We multiplied with 45. 45 equals. We multiply it with, let's go to the other side. The lady and the gentleman in the second row, can you stand up, please? Yes. The lady, please look into his eyes and estimate his IQ. Now, please. Sorry? So what's exactly? 205, that wouldn't be a happy life. Anyway, sit down, thank you both. We multiply with 205 equals. So we make the plus button, the plus. And what do you think? What do you think? How many people are in this room? 300, so we say plus 300 equals. And we press the minus button. We didn't have this one, minus. Now, can you help me for a second, please? Could you just stand here, face to the audience, and hold your finger like this? All right? So, you wait with this, have minus, press, nothing else. Put your finger like this, please. What's your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence, please close your eyes and now tap a few times to the front. Thank you very much, that's enough. Lawrence, that's your number. Thank you for your help. Have a seat. So, Lawrence chose a random number and I will tell you why. But first, please take this number off. It's 2519498. You got it? 2519498. So we chose these numbers, so you don't think I talked to everybody else in advance to know the result. Let's press equals. It's 4,012,102. Do you have the same? Well, we are a bit in a hurry, but usually if there's one guy who doesn't have the number, he's not the loudest. he would just say nothing. To the other one who had the calculator, do we have this number? Yes, everybody but you, but thank you for letting me know. All right. Wow, okay. Anyway, so that's the number, because that is mathematics. That's not even the trick. I mean, anyways, just a random number. Man, so I made a prediction this morning beneath the logo. I felt there could be a number relevant starting with 4. 0, 1, and 2. 102. And that is exactly 4,012,102. I mean, imagine if you wouldn't have pushed the snooze button twice, different number. If you wouldn't be so smart, different number. But you know what? That number fits perfectly to you because you are able, all of you, to look at things from a different perspective. And that is why you came here today to Zurich. And when we talk about Zurich, we also talk about innovation. Vincent, in the next panel, we will learn more about this. Thank you.
If this was a Hollywood movie, the title of the next section would be When Corporate Met Startup. And the strapline for the trailer, what happens when an immovable force meets, when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. We'll shortly be hearing from our panelists how they innovate to impact. Now, it may take two to tango, but when unequal partners meet, it's not always easy to find synergies before the challenges overwhelm. Like all love stories, it can be a match made in heaven, or it can end in tears. So how can corporates react? Where do new ideas come from? How do you bring them successfully into the fold? Since we now all have somewhere to sit, I'd like to get my panelists up on stage and introduce them. I'm not sure whether it's... Oh, no, I think one, if you could go.
Yes, merci.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to have to...
Oh, we have to switch.
Yeah. Not to worry. I'm delighted to welcome Cara Morton, CEO of Zurich Global Ventures, often described as the growth engine of Zurich. Juan Bear, CEO of Zurich Switzerland, who's on the front line when it comes to introducing innovation in a business unit. Sabine van der Linden, CEO and managing partner of Alchemy Core, dubbed the InsurTech Queen by some of the 150 startups she's helped found. And last but not least, Christoph Lechner, Professor of Strategic Management at the University of St. Gallen, who combines his academic functions with seats on boards and strategic advisor to countless firms. Cara, if I could start with you, how do you maintain innovation in a corporate unit, a mature corporate unit?
As Ericsson sort of pointed before, you need to remove the noise of the internal, and you need to have a relentless focus outward. So I encourage my teams to, every day, to put their feet in the shoes of the customers that we're dealing with and try to surprise, delight, protect them at the points that matter most to them in their life's journey.
Okay. Could you put this, Christoph, in a wider context?
Well, technically, you have three options. Either you do it internally, you do it through M&A, or through corporations. Now, the insurance industry has never been famous for doing a lot of innovation internally. Yeah, if you compare that with high-tech or automotive. So the numbers are very bad. And all the reason is you can easily imitate a product. Yeah? So there's no patents you can protect it in this. Therefore, you mostly see M&A. On the other side, and that's now something coming up since about 10 years around the globe, there are more alliances, either in the form of joint ventures or whatever, then you see M&A. So this has changed, and then there are a lot of reasons why this is thriving. One is, for example, knowledge transfer. Not all smart people work for Zurich, and a way to tap into this pool is, for example, going through an M&A deal or going through an alliance.
And Sabine, there's a lot to manage before you can achieve synergies when you talk about innovation between startups and corporates.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to manage. And I think the main one is probably culture. I think I love when a corporation actually put the signal out there that they want to collaborate with young ventures, because that helps. But the whole process is actually to be, as Cara said, be prepared internally to actually welcome young ventures externally, because those young ventures actually move super fast, right? They have limited resources. They want to actually get into projects. And when you look at the big mammoth organizations, it can actually be quite slow because of structure, compliance. So setting up the right process, structure, putting out there some of the signal that we want to collaborate with startups become critical.
One of the things you have to manage, one, is expectations. How do you do that?
Well, I see what expectations get, created by clarity, right? I think that's probably the most important thing. And, in the past, and we talked about this also last year, that, my view of looking at it is really that, innovation should help us solve real problems. I did like, in fact, what I heard today. Because in the past, we used to look at innovation as something just cool. Today, what I heard is actually coolness and impact. And innovation is pretty much about, both angles. So the coolness and the impact, and I think, making sure that people understand that that's the expectation. That, to me, is key.
What's the best model in your experience, Sabine? When does it make sense to partner, not to invest via a corporate venture capital fund?
I think the whole framework has evolved over the years, right? 8 years ago, when I started doing this, it was all about accelerator and incubator. And I think any organization I work with, we're trying to learn, right, this concept called startup, and we started with fintech. And I think gradually we moved to this terminology called corporate venturing, which is more focused on the investment. And when you actually look at the accelerator model, you start with giving a little bit of money to the startup against equity, right? So you have an equity stake, so you are taking investment, you are giving money for investment. What we found out over time, particularly when we work in insurance with big corporation, is not always the right model. And to be honest, I think insurance, when we look at the number around corporate venturing, tend to invest in more mature organization. Already Series A feels more comfortable. So there is this new term today called corporate venture clienting, or the venture client model, which is only focused on collaboration. Which means that I think when I look at it from Three Horizon model, organizations want to accelerate their growth, innovation, through, I think, Horizon 1. So looking at really improving processes and developing the new product and services, find a lot of value in this venture client model because they can access through the startup capabilities that they can implement very quickly against commercial agreement, right? They actually paying for the service. They are learning, and they are sharing on their common growth without having to take equity stake.
And of course, not everyone's engineered to do this. I mean, for corporates, it can be difficult. Culture, process, mindsets all get in the way sometimes. How can we align, particularly on the question of speed? I don't know, I throw it open to the panel. Any thoughts?
Well, the speed is funny because normally the startup thinks now it has access to the firm. For example, I remember at Helvetia when we did such a cooperation, next day they called the CEO, they called the chief information officer, so they thought the whole corporation is open to them, and you had to teach them with whom to talk. And then you have a problem in the firms, because quite often you have an M&A department, but you do not have an alliance department. So to whom should they talk to? So the corporate then have to set up the structures, and quite often he doesn't have the people, he doesn't have the time. The big CEO is making the handshake, and then he forgets about the alliance with the startup, and then really nobody is taking this on, and then you see it basically killing down over time.
And
so
that's
the result are very bad, frankly speaking. So far, we don't have a lot of successful cooperation between insurance firms and startups. But I think such events will do it better.
I think it really depends on how the governance model that's set up, right? Because I've worked with a lot of companies, setting up incubators, buying companies, trying to put them into the fold, and that doesn't work in large corporations. Like what I've seen that works is that basically you have a separate governance model, and they need to be, basically off to the side of the organisation, but they really need to have that strong link to the large corporation. They need to have that so that when they need more funding or things don't go exactly according to plan, there's that safety net within the big corporation to keep that sponsorship going. So that's a model that I've seen work.
But I will add to that, if you don't mind, Cara, is for success, vision and goals really critical. So it still need to be aligned to the organization's objectives and where they are going. Then culture, not every culture is the same across every insurance companies. I mean, the Zurich culture is a very welcoming culture. And so already when we look at the brand, we can see it's an innovative brand. I would say that I've not seen that in a lot of insurance, and I think there are many around the globe. And lastly, I think the structure and the processes which are being set with the culture, so the people within the organization able to deliver against the program and the KPIs is going to be critical. And KPIs are critical for this to succeed, because I've seen quite some failing program last year.
We'll certainly talk about metrics in a moment. What's the Swiss BU doing in terms of innovation and trying to foster an innovation culture?
So it will take us probably longer than the 6 minutes that are left to explain, all the things that they're doing. I think, the theme is right now is, we've been largely focused on creating efficiencies and effectiveness and operational agility in the past. So pretty much targeting the expense ratio of what we do. Now, if we look at what's current reality, not only for us, really for the market as a whole, particularly around retail, it's really, the thing that basically absorbs 80% of what we do, which is the loss ratio. Right, so we've been thinking a lot about, how can we create impact at the loss ratio level. Hail is one of the predominant themes that we have here in Switzerland in the motor business. So we've been trying to deal with that. So we've selected 16 potential ideas only this year. We narrowed it down to 11, and we ended up piloting 3 of them, one of which is hail, but then also a lot of work around customer loyalty and access to customers. And the more we think about what's going on in the world, and to the previous question, it really depends on how complex the theme is that you're about to solve. Now, if you look around geopolitical issues that we currently have, those are really leading to a complete restructure of supply chains. So how can we innovate really to help our customers and to help ourselves understanding what's going on? We talked already about cyber a little bit today. That's another key theme. And when we talk about motor, we tend to look at motor as today's problem. But what about innovating, knowing that within the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see semi-autonomous driving and certainly and ultimately autonomous driving hitting what we do.
Cara, how do you keep one step ahead of the game?
Yeah, I think what we do is focus on, well, I would say 3 things, like purposeful innovation, embedded innovation, and award-winning innovation. So if we take purposeful innovation, we take real problems that matter to people and address them, in a way that leads to purposeful outcomes, right? That's what we do. We also look at, from an embedded perspective, we might be incubating things off to the side, and take LiveWell, for example, which we've been incubating for a couple of years. But now we're looking about how we embed parts of that LiveWell journey into our BAU products, right? So that's another thing. It's around basically taking it from a standalone into embedding it into BAU type products. And the third thing's around award winning. Like, we do focus on making sure that we are, seen in the industry as developing really innovative products. My team in the Middle East have won in the first half of the year 8 awards for basically the innovation that they've done around life products. So, they're the 3 things that sort of keep innovation alive within the team.
So I would say it's very tricky, because normally a business unit head or a country head, he says, I already have my metrics, 5, so corporate headquarters, leave me alone. I have so much to do. On the other side, and we know that quite often, if corporate headquarters tries to push things into the business units, quite often they say no. Now, it's not easy to convince them sometimes to take this up. AI is a good example. If a business unit is too small to have the skills to do that, then they are asking. But then the push is coming from them, as opposed if the push is coming down. I know corporate guys don't like that to hear, but that's the reality with most business unit heads.
But I don't think it's about pushing down. Case in point, one sitting beside me. So we've got an investment in a cyber company called Box. It's based out of Canada, and it basically provides cyber services and insurance. One is embedding that, basically kicking it off in October across the Swiss BU. Now, to me, it's not about pushing. You've got to have a product that the BUs want.
Because he needs it. But then he's interested.
Yeah.
If that's
and
the way,
but that's what
that's
you need
fine.
to. That's what
Exactly.
you've got to invent products that business units want to sell.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a push or pull model. I think it's a collaboration model, right? That we should all strive for. I mean, there are good things invented at corporate centers, and that good things invented at BUs, right? And I think the best that can happen to us is to bring the best of these worlds together and really make sure that together we can actually create things that also have the potential to be put in a plane and travel from one country to another, right? Because otherwise, there's always that risk within a large group as ours that we keep replicating things, right? Which obviously makes it hugely expensive and also extremely slow.
Look at Smile, yeah, being developed here in the Swiss market and being outrolled now in Austria and Spain. I think that's such a good example.
In the remaining couple of minutes, just let's go back to that question of metrics. I mean, you've helped found 150 startups, raising over $120 million of funding from investors. What are some of the metrics, some of the measures of innovation that you value?
So the main one which I value, I would say ecosystem and collaboration. I mean, it's a soft metric, but I mean, we are dealing with two worlds. And so looking at some of the numbers we've seen up there, through collaboration, you can actually change an organization, I would say, operating model, and then achieve some efficiency savings from some of this solution, and hopefully growth. At the end of the day, for me, it's probably selling new products and services and satisfying customers.
And Cara, how do you measure success?
I mean, the key one is customer satisfaction, delighting customers. I mean, we want to move from having a transactional relationship with customers, a one-off transactional relationship, to having a more partnerial relationship. So I see it totally, all around the customer.
Just to wrap up, Sabine, future of innovation in the next 5 to 10 years, particularly in that collaboration between startups and corporates.
Some of the themes, I will repeat what Monsieur Michelier said. It's all about understanding the child approach and innovating continuously. But some of the big themes coming to market, I think, is sustainability and making impact from sustainability across the globe, not just in Europe, but across the globe or in Asia. I think we need to see more from, for example, from the United States. We talked about AI. AI is key, and generative AI will be everywhere across functional units as well. But then it's about finding a way to build an ecosystem-based innovative environment for corporate and startup to collaborate efficiently.
Thank you very much indeed. I have a feeling we could have gone on for a much longer, but thank you very much indeed to our panelists. Wow. Many years ago, I moderated a panel in Berlin, and the subject was trust in science. And I asked the star guest, who do you trust? And was waiting for a reply. I thought he might mention lawyers or politicians, doctors, scientists, perhaps even journalists. I hope we don't have any journalists in the audience today. But his reply to who do you trust was my mother. And actually, if you think about it, there's a lot of wisdom there because, when we come to either book a holiday or buy a new bicycle or make decisions in life, who do we turn to? We turn to family, friends, and colleagues. Now, sadly, my mother couldn't be here today, but we've got the next best thing. No, I'm going to rephrase that. We've got someone even better. We've got Connie Coucher, our Chief Customer Officer. Thank you.
I'm so pleased to be your mother. That's probably the worst introduction I have ever had. But thank you anyway. You made everybody laugh. So I'm very proud to be in this room with all of these smart Zurich people who loves innovation and all of these smart, innovative companies that are co-creating new customer propositions with us. This session is all about customer loyalty. And why is loyalty important? Loyalty is important because customers that are loyal, they stay longer, they buy more, and they recommend us to others. So loyalization is a key part of our strategy. We talk about being the preferred insurer for our customers by earning their loyalty. Loyalty needs to be earned. It's not something you can buy or get just automatically. So how do we do that? We kind of get to a point where we understand our customers deeply. We understand their needs, we understand their behaviors, we understand their preferences. We understand whether they want to be served digitally, whether they want to talk to an agent, or whether they want to do a little bit of both. And by understanding them deeper, we can tailor propositions and journeys to them. And through that, creating seamless experiences for them that are relevant and that meets their needs. To do that in a good way, we need companies like all of yours to help us, starting with what is the customer problem we're trying to solve for, and how can technology, AI, data analytics help us to do that. So we measure loyalty at Zurich. We measure it through TNPS, and Kara talked about customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is super important to us, and we measure it so that we can constantly improve the experience we're giving to our customers. The next step of loyalization is actually driving recommendations. And why is that important? It's important because people trust other people, friends and families and colleagues, to recommend good products and services to them, more so than they trust advertising, for example. So the more we can have tools, methods, and processes to help facilitate referrals and recommendations, the faster we can grow our business through driving loyalty. And I'm not going to say exactly how we are going to do that, but we are working with a super exciting company called Mention Me, and I'll invite Mention Me to come to the stage and tell you more about how we drive referrals and loyalty at Zurich.
Connie, thank you. What a fascinating topic. And we're here to talk exactly about that. And in particular, how do we turn the power of loyalty into a business impact? It's something which you've seen from researcher Fred Reichelt at Bain has done some great work on. You would expect, actually, to keep customers and to retain them for longer, or indeed to get existing customers to spend more would be a big impact. But actually, the largest comes from advocacy, and that's much less well understood. It's something which we've been building our knowledge on over the past few years with our Net Promoter Score system, and actually getting more than 1.3 million pieces of feedback every year and using that to make improvements. If you take the example of the UK, we've seen our NPS score improve from +40 to +70, so that's helpful, but obviously not nearly good enough, because there's a difference between somebody giving you a nice piece of feedback and somebody else who's positively advocating for you as a brand. So this is where Mention Me come in, and their fantastic technology that helps us both to identify, understand, and then activate these brand advocates. So welcome, Kevin. Tell us, how does it work?
Thank you, Richard. Referral remains the most trusted and authentic marketing channel in the world, because a recommendation by someone that we trust leads into higher brand credibility. It also leads to sustainable growth, with referred customers being 5 times more willing to refer your brand and 3 times more valuable to you as a company. What you're currently seeing is actually real-life experiences that we are showing to Zurich UK customers in the UK. Mention Me provides the world's best AI referral platform, using sharing options like email, SMS, and common apps like WhatsApp. We also have an offline method which is called Name Share, which makes a referral easy and possible in every moment of your superfan's life. But what we are really excited about is where we are going, as referral is just the journey to customer loyalty. We are leveraging AI in order to analyze customer networks and sentiments in order to generate a deep understanding of Zurich customers' preferences and needs, showing the real value of superfans compared to non-advocates. Over to you, Richard.
So, how's it going? Currently, we're live with 3 customer journeys in the UK on small business, charity and life protection. Next up, we're going to Switzerland with cyber. We're going to Brazil with employees and also small business, and also travel with Covermore. We've moved very fast to get the program live, and now, to Connie's earlier point, we're learning about which changes to customer experience are having the biggest impact, not just on loyalty, but also on the business. With more than 1 million pieces of promoter feedback that we get every year from our customers, we think the journey ahead of us is a really, really exciting one. Thank you.
In the old days, it was enough to talk the talk and walk the walk, but now it seems increasingly important to be able to chit the chat and beat the bot. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been held in a queue for 45 minutes only to get cut off as soon as I reach a human operator. But apparently it needn't be like this, and customer service can actually serve the customer. Someone who spends a lot of time thinking about that is our Chief Strategy Officer, Paolo Mantero.
Thank you, Victor. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for being here tonight. I thought a bit about how can best introduce Parloa, and I thought that maybe it's a good way is to start from the problem. Actually, a better way is to listen to the problem.
Please select from one of the following options. If you have booked with a travel agent and need guidance, press 1. To make changes to an existing booking, press 2. For online check-in queries, press 3. To check the status...
Okay. I think you get it. So, on the scale of annoyance, from 1 to 10, how annoying is this? 10, yes. So, who said 10 is a good company, because actually 70% of the people believe that it's completely annoying to deal with this kind of bot and with this kind of automatic way to deal with customers. And we also believe this is not a good way to deal with customers as a customer and as an insurance company. And you may think this is great because actually your business model is going to be cheaper. Your cost goes down. Yes, maybe, but not really, because what happens is that people wait for the number to dial to talk to an operator. And there is a lot of rework, there is additional cost, and customers leave after a while. So we don't want that, but still, we want to improve. We want to get more modern in the way we interact with the customer base. We want to give better options. And definitely, a better option is Parloa. So, Victor, Sven, talk about that.
Thank you for the introduction, Paolo. I think we can all agree that customer service can be a real pain sometimes for all participants, agents and callers alike. So we at Parloa, we revolutionized the way that companies use AI for customer service. And we do so by orchestrating the best AI components out there and putting them at your fingertips. So without further ado, let's just call Zurich, Germany, and see what their customer service sounds like after 3 months into the Zurich Innovation Championship.
Welcome to Zurich Insurance. How can I help you today?
Hello. So I wanted to go to Spain with my car, but I don't know if I'm insured. Can you tell me if my car insurance plan is covering that trip?
All right, I'll be happy to help you. First, I need a few details for authentication. What is your insurance number?
My insurance number is 19031991 20 and 24.
I heard 190319912024. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And could you please tell me your date of birth?
Sure, that's the 19th of March 1991.
Okay, thanks. And now, please give me your zip code.
That is 10961.
Okay, one moment, please. I am now forwarding you to one of our customer service agents.
But that is not all. So before the call is taken over by the agent now receives valuable information on why the customer called, if the customer is already authenticated, basically all other relevant information that was collected during the call. And on top of that, we also generate really valuable data that provides additional insights and helps us to further optimize the customer service.
Since our launch on September 4th, we've hit the ground running with some stellar results. Our intent recognition accuracy stands at over 96%, and we are closing in on reaching our goal of an 85% authentication success rate. At DR Direct, our retail brand of Zurich in Germany, the voice bot is already a game changer, handling an impressive number of 750,000 calls per year. And now we are just about to add over 400,000 calls for Zurich Germany. This means that more than 1 million calls per year is assisted by our AI agents in the business unit. I think that's pretty impressive. Yeah. But Victor, can you tell me what's next?
Yes, of course. So since we built the technical foundation for this technology, we now want to equip the Zurich Group to provide personal AI agents that can even further assist your customers in the future. Those personal AI agents, they can speak every language, are available 24/7. They know all the customers' history, have all the company knowledge, and the best thing is they come with unlimited scalability to further improve the customer service quality of the Zurich Group. Thanks.
Thanks.
So we're leaving the customer experience to dive into the world of health and well-being. To know or not to know, that is the question. And if you know about an existing medical condition, would you do something about it? And how is all that related to insurance? Well, with the lowdown is Alison Martin, CEO of Europe, Middle East and Africa.
Thank you. So yes, we're in the world of life and health now. And what I wanted to start with was a bit of there's an old adage that life insurance has to be sold because nobody really wants to buy it, unfortunately, which sadly is still true. Another thing that's true is that globally we spend about $10 trillion, or about 10% of GDP, on healthcare costs. And that's only going to go up. Neither of those things are great. So our startup is not going to solve both of those, but we're going to be part of the solution. We'll be part of the solution. So if I think of where all the global healthcare cost spend is, 1.8 trillion of that is in consumer wellness. And you probably are all part of it. It's nutrition, it's fitness, it's lifestyle, it's appearance, it's sleep, it's mindfulness. I have a wearable, I'm sure many of you do as well. That's in there too. Now, I get quite geeky about it. So a very small little anecdote. I used to be the person in my household, I've got 2 young kids, I got every sniffle that they brought home from school. I was constantly getting colds, and they became sinus infections, and eventually I thought, maybe I'm not just unlucky. Maybe there's something else. So I decided to get a genetic test and to find out, is it actually me? I can't keep blaming my children. Yeah, it turns out it was me. But the best thing is, I then got personalized recommendations about, okay, so you have a pretty weak immune system for these kind of bugs. You can do something about it. You can change some lifestyle factors, supplements, you can do things. And I am not the person who gets the sniffles now, much to my husband's dislike. It's him. So the reason I tell you this, just imagine if that's your insurance company. who is helping you actually as a customer to improve the way that actually your life, your health is going. Now, this is not new. A number of companies, so you can talk about Vitality or Pru, they've been doing things like this, but not exactly like this, for a while. This is a space that can be a real game changer. Cara talked about delighting customers, as did Connie about giving fantastic customer experience. Just imagine if we could actually make a real difference. And that's what Nala Genetics, who I'm super pleased to introduce, is going to try and do by helping people manage chronic disease, helping people to lead longer, healthier lives. Over to you, Nala Genetics.
At this moment, 1 in 2 of us have a chronic health condition, whether we're aware of it or not. And no 2 experiences of these chronic health conditions are the same. They present themselves differently, they inhibit us differently, and so why are our treatment plans the same? We partnered with Nala Genetics to understand the answer to 2 key questions. Were our customers interested in understanding more about their genetic health profiles? And when they understood them, were they interested in doing something about it and improving their lives?
We know that chronic conditions experiences depends on many factors. However, the 2 factors that we know of and we are specialized in, number 1, our DNA, which sadly we can't really change it. But our lifestyles, we can change. Therefore, at Nala Genetics and Zurich, we come together to create a program called Nala Care Program. Of course, Zurich cares too. This program, genetic testing paired with a 3-month health program, is going to help the customer to understand themselves better and guided by a professional healthcare personnel so that they know better what to do with their health. So we offer this to Zurich customer, present and new.
In July, we offered this service to our agents in BU Malaysia, and they knew exactly which customers would benefit from this type of service. And one of them was Rowan. Rowan's a father and a husband, and he'd recently been diagnosed with heart disease. On top of his pre-existing diabetes, he didn't know where to start, and to be honest, hadn't started at all.
Rohan's genetic testing tell him exactly what medication he could or couldn't take, what kind of food and exercise would benefit him the most. And of course, with the support from health program, he now knows how to prioritize his health and work through the action plan with the support.
Even though these doctors and physicians were having really complex and often difficult conversations with our customers, they gave an overall customer satisfaction rating of 92% for this service. And in terms of acquisition, for our agents, they told us that for the customers that they knew best, 4 out of 5 of the customers came on board when they were approached with the service. For our in-branch activity, roughly 1 in 3 bought the service when they were aware it was available to them. In terms of our emailers, while our agents said they were really helpful for awareness, only 1 in 1,000 customers came on board, which shows us here that the human-first approach was definitely best.
Genetic testing is complex, and insurance is also complex. However, with this program, we have proven that with the right support, we are able to simplify the customer health, making it more efficient by removing the trial and error, make it faster.
As insurers, we're often used to being there for our customers at the time of need, when the worst has happened. We pay out claims when it matters most. Here, we're working with our partners far earlier to understand their health. In some cases, we can reduce the severity of the experience they have when they get those chronic health conditions, and in others, we can prevent them altogether.
And Abby, at the beginning of the speech, you did ask 2 questions. Would customer be interested to understand? And if they understand, would they act on it? The answers are yes and yes. Yes and yes, yes. We have currently 86% adherence to the program. Okay, and our customer, right, Rohan, is still continuing the journey with us, each with their own stories. Thank you very much, and we look forward to chat with you upstairs.
If a week is a long time in politics, 6 years is an eternity in innovation, and that's how long the championship has been going on. The architects of the Zurich Innovation Championship, Joe Lagarde and Anthony Elliott, will tell us a little bit about the journey.
Thank you, Vincent. I'm Joel.
And I'm Anthony, and together we lead the Zurich Innovation Championship.
Wow, Vincent, 6 years. Wow, look at what we've achieved. I feel like a really proud dad. Wow, we made this, I think, quite a cool program and a very impactful program that solves the problems of our customers. Yeah, but I think it's easiest, because it's not easy to put it in words, I think it's easiest for you guys to have a quick look at the video we've put together. Video off, please.
Isn't it wonderful how people can come to the most amazing discoveries?
A winning idea has to solve real problems for ourselves, for our customer.
Their solutions are the building blocks for the future.
It requires constant change, constant intervention, constant rethinking.
And this is part of the culture, what we like the most.
That's why we are coming together for the 5th time for the Zurich Innovation Championship. Because
one thing unites us, we're here to celebrate innovation.
And so we got to work in 2018 and first asked ourselves, what should be the focus?
Guess what? Our customers.
What do they prefer? How do they want to engage?
So we need to operationalize all of these things as an organization to make it happen.
This led to the Zurich Innovation Championship as an opportunity to work with the brightest minds from all corners of the world to bring them together.
With our business experts that have the expertise and the network within our industry.
Well, what should I say?
We love to work with startups.
And we were overwhelmed with the submissions we received.
The number of submissions rose from 458 in the first year to 3,300 this year.
Few key pillars initiate that forward-thinkingness, their peers see the success, and that trajectory continues.
Today, we look back on over 70 pilots, over 50 active initiatives in more than 30 countries.
And we grow all together and be one at the end for our customers.
SEEK is one of the best innovation programs around the world for InsurTech.
Our time within the Zurich Innovation Championship was absolutely insightful and extremely valuable for us as a young company.
It gives you the opportunity for meeting really interesting people.
The professional workshops in Zurich were outstanding and brought together brilliant and innovative minds from all over the world.
They sent in some real hard hitters when it comes to knowledge and innovation capabilities.
We met Zurich almost 2 years and a half ago, and since then we started a very strong relationship.
Zurich focus on innovation and open dialogue is really great and is much appreciated.
Really, this sped up our learning curve from 2 years typically to 3 to 4 months, which was the Innovation Championship.
The Zurich Innovation Championship was hands down one of the best organized and professionally run programs we've participated in.
What I like most about this program is we're solving real-world challenges.
What we did with Zurich, what our team liked the most was it was a culture to do a journey together.
And the journey continues. After 5 successful editions of the Zurich Innovation Championship, one thing is clear. Collaborating with startups is a must. Join us as the Zurich Innovation Championship evolves and continues to create lasting impact for our customers worldwide.
Cool video, huh? And when I see feedback like that, I really do believe we are running the best startup engagement program in the insurance industry. So what makes the Innovation Championship different? Well, we take the tech, right? We have more than 3,000 submissions coming in from startups around the world, and we scour through those to find the best of the startups, the best of the technology. And we're not just talking insurtech. We're also talking health tech, ad tech, media tech, enterprise tech, prop tech, you name it, right? But cool tech, Juan said it, is not just enough, right? What we need is the tech which is focused on solving the problems which we have for our customers, for our employees, and the insurance industry. And as we've heard before, we do have a lot of AI as well, right?
Yeah, I guess AI is all around the place nowadays. I have the feeling that every solution, every product companies bring to market have a little sprinkle of AI in it. But to me, it's not just about the AI. It's about the humans. And this is actually what I love about our initiatives from the current and also past batches. They make us humans better. They help us do better customer service in the call centers. They help us to better automate and run claims. They help us being better underwriters. So how amazing is that? Because at the end, it's all about the people. This also goes for our program. Our program is quite unique because of the people, being it the startups, our leaders, our colleagues from the business units, or our experts from corporate center, or our customers. They really make it different, what we offer here. And I would like to take a moment to, again, like Ericsson, thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, because it's really something great that we've created all together.
Yeah. And you guys really are amazing. And didn't they do an amazing job today pitching? Well done, everyone. Right? Working together with people like this, where we co-create, where we collaborate, and we're more than the sum of our parts, really is what makes the Innovation Championship different. So what you've seen today is a culmination of more than 3 months of work. We've pushed, we've tested, we've evaluated, we've proven the solutions, and we've done it at breakneck speed. But guys, I hate to tell you, the hard work isn't over, because we're going to move on, we're going to adopt the solution, we're going to scale them in the business units, and eventually globally.
Yes, we're going to scale it globally.
We're going to scale it globally, I forgot.
Yeah.
Everyone else has done so well. Now, what you saw in the video was all the startups we're still working with, right? We're working with each and every one of the startups you saw in that video, and not just them, right? Up to 50 of them, and each and every one of them is delivering value for the Zurich Insurance Group. So, Joel, it's been 5 years. Sometimes it feels even longer, right?
It was, in fact, 6 years. Yeah.
6 years, 5 editions. What do you think? Are we going to hang up our innovation gloves? Or should we mix things up? What do you think?
I think innovation should never stop, right? Because there's always a problem to solve, Juan, right? You mentioned it. There's enough problems for us to solve. So I believe we should not stop innovating, because innovation is here to solve problems. This is why, just like a startup, we should transform the way we run the program. We should constantly become better in how we solve the problems as well, right? So this is why I believe it's about time to announce that in 2020...
Joel, wait a minute. The clock is on red. The clock is on red. We're out of time. We are, after all, a Swiss company, and look, I can see Michel is looking like he's a little bit thirsty.
So I guess we all need to wait for a couple of days, weeks or months until we reveal the secret. However, I think it's now time to wrap it up. Vincent.
Thank you both. Thank you to all our speakers and panelists. Thank you to the audience, and thank you, of course, to the technical team, who are always the unsung heroes at an event like this.